The path to the SMITE World Championships is a long one, and the summer split is just a part of the puzzle. In order to earn the right to play on SMITE's biggest stage, teams will have to prove their worth multiple times all the way to January. With one of those chances already in the books, the summer marked the beginning of the second of 3 splits. It would once again be time to focus up as teams got ready for a longer, more competitive split this time around. The action of the summer would begin quickly, but before any games were to be played, an expansion draft was to be held. The SPL looked great during the spring, but with the amount of talent lurking in the shadows, the decision to expand the league to 8 teams per region was an easy one. A short tournament would decide which teams deserved to be brought up to the SPL level and leave the challenger scene behind.
Now with 8 teams per region, we're also expanding the length of the split from 5 weeks to 7 weeks. This is going to breed a lot more competition, especially with these bottom teams getting a lot more experience against the top teams throughout the split. With us only being one more split away from the SWC, we're really starting to see these top teams buckle down. Last season, we saw Titan make their huge run, picking up an analyst and coach, and even now, Cloud9, Fnatic, all these top teams are following the same trend and picking them up.
The results of the expansion would net some familiar faces. North America would be bringing up the ever-popular Team Eager, alongside Legion of Carrots, a team heralded by DJ Pernicus, Pain to Beyond, and some other veterans of the SMITE scene. On the European side, teams would be joined by iRapper's Epsilon and the Night's Watch, a team featuring the likes of NQ, a very successful solo laner that would find himself coming out of retirement to play on this roster. With the table set, all that was left were the actual games, and those started off with a bang. Cloud9, a top team that missed the spring finals, would be undefeated for 5 entire weeks, only to be toppled by the new SPL threat, Team Eager. Enemy and Cognitive Gaming would still struggle to find their footing and eventually find themselves at the bottom of the SPL standings. As the split came to a close, 3 teams would be heading to the finals from North America: Team Solo Mid, Cloud9, and the previous split's winners, AFK Gaming.
Finally having the opportunity to come across to the States and cast the SPL has been such a great opportunity for me. Working with the other casters as well as, the behind the scenes staff that make all this work on a daily basis, it's been great. Well, EU this season, they had ups and downs. We had teams that didn't do so well as we were expected to, and then ones that people expected not to manage to make it to the top 3 actually find themselves there. Top one, for example, Titan. They didn't manage to make it to the spring LAN. But as the game went on and we saw the season unfold, their lane switch that happened between Ataraxia and Comfrey actually worked out well for them, and they exceeded expectations for the most part. Second on the list though, definitely Paradigm, formerly known as Trig Esports. Trig Esports found themselves after the LAN. They didn't do very well there and started to struggle at the start of the season. Good news is though, they did finally find form halfway through and then saw themselves shoot off towards a really decent standpoint as the game went on. My favourite moment of the SPL was definitely the final game of London Conspiracy up against Trig Esports, now known as Paradigm. Those two together, they were fighting in that last game of the season to see who would end up at the LAN. So when you think about a whole season going through, you're always looking at those clutch games.
All 6 teams are ready and waiting. Team Solo Mid, Cloud9, AFK Gaming, Titan, Fnatic, Paradigm. The summer split was a hotbed of emotion, and it's only getting more intense. The split is over, and all that's left is the summer finals.